So Frank the Ghost Martin pulls off a razor thin victory over Artem. I'm not even gonna say his last name. You got dudes on here butchering the homie name. I'm not gonna do that to him. I can't pronounce it. I'm not even gonna try. But dude made a good account of himself in this fight. Good mover. Uh, this was one of Frank Martin's most toughest fights in my opinion. But people say Frank Martin struggled in this fight. He did. He did struggle. Boxers have to go through these things, man. We can't toss them to the side every time. When they first starting out, their careers are blossoming. They get into a hard fight, and all of a sudden they've been exposed. I wouldn't even go as far as to say Frank Martin's been exposed, bro. This is one of them growing pains that fighters got to go through, man. This happens. You can't have. It's gonna be level. That's why it's called levels, man. It's gonna be levels. And you know what I do find interesting? Lately it's been these fighters that nobody really heard of or got these weird last names that are just making difficult fights for these dudes that's supposed to be up and comers. Same thing that happened to Jerron Ennis. I think it just happened with Regis Prograis. Didn't look too good in his last fight either. You see what I'm saying? And here we are with Frank Martin. Now, it's evident as far as I can see. This is how I look at it. Frank Martin's with Errol Spence's camp, Derek James and all of them folks over there. Pretty good. He trains them well, but I just think they all fight the same. All of them, they all fight the same. Same stance, same style. Frank Martin got the same exact jab like Errol Spence. Same jab, same fucking jab. He throws it the same way. But when you look at Bud and you look at Shakur Stevenson, you look at Keyshawn Davis, and a lot of people compare Keyshawn Davis to Frank Martin, and I'm gonna say this: there's no way in hell Frank Martin beats Keyshawn Davis. Period. It ain't happening, man. It's not happening. Frank Martin got a late start in boxing, so you gotta give him a little bit of slack, but these things happen, man. These things happen in seasoned fighters. They get into these kind of fights where we expect it to go one way and then it always goes another way. That's no slight to Frank Martin. I'm not really into the exposed stuff like that, off of one fight. But I'm telling you now, he's not beating Keyshawn Davis. Absolutely not. All right. Now let me look at the record of him and Keyshawn. Now Frank Martin right now, currently after this win last night, he stands at 18 wins and 12 no losses, 12 wins by knockout, 66% KO ratio. All right. So pretty decent amount of fights under his belt thus far. Let's go check out Keyshawn Davis. Let's pull Keyshawn Davis up real quick. If it even comes up. Taking a while. Signal was janky. But nonetheless, I thought the fight was it was intriguing. It was something that was needed, man. They gotta go through these things, man. They have to go through these things. They have to go through these things. Like Edgar Berlanga, you could say like pretty much he's probably been exposed. He's probably what you would call an exposed fighter because he had a few fights after that first mishaps in order to redeem himself, and I don't see any growth in him. I don't see him. He hasn't redeemed himself, man. All right, so we got Keyshawn Davis, man, the businessman. All right, let's check him out. Yeah, there's 8 wins. Is this the right record? It says he has 8 wins, no losses, 6 wins by knockout. So Keyshawn Davis definitely, he's a bigger puncher than Frank Martin, what it appears to be. 75% KO ratio compared to the amount of fights. Frank Martin obviously has more fights than him. His pro career is a little bit more extensive, just a slight bit more than Keyshawn Davis. Well, 10 fights more. So I don't care, man. It still looks like to me that Keyshawn Davis is still leagues ahead of Frank Martin. Probably because I'm not sure what year Keyshawn Davis started boxing. He probably started boxing much earlier than Frank Martin started. So he had a head start on Frank Martin as far as him overall boxing, but Frank Martin has more. He had a head start on him when it comes to being a pro. But Keyshawn Davis will smoke Frank Martin. He'll smoke him. You know, all the top guys that you hear Frank Martin calling out, Shakur Stevenson, Devin Haney, Tank Davis, he doesn't beat these guys, man. At least not now. I don't even think he'd ever be skilled enough to beat these dudes. And I'm not going down, disrespect him like that. I think he's a great fighter. I just don't see nothing special about Frank Martin. He's okay. He's a good fighter. He has a lot of work to do. I'm not sure how much he can really accomplish now this late. He's 28 years old, so he can probably learn some new tricks, but I just don't see him catching up to these dudes, man. I don't see him catching up to a Shakur or Gervonta Davis, Devin Haney, or even a Keyshawn Davis. These dudes been boxing since they was the kids, man, since they was way younger than him. 7 years old, 10, 11. So they have it already programmed in them like that, so he doesn't beat none of these dudes. I would say at best, Frank Martin probably could smoke a lot of the mid-level 135-pounders. He smoked Michel Rivera, which was surprising to me. I didn't really expect that, but he did. Washed him. But these top dudes or these uppercomers, nah. And he probably could beat Kid Austin. If Kid Austin moved up, he probably could beat Floyd Schofield because he's very reckless. One thing I would say about Frank Martin, he's a patient fighter. He seems like he's fundamentally sound too. But Kid Austin would jump into something and he would probably get knocked out or hurt bad jumping into something if he fought Frank Martin. And Kid Austin is behind the pack when it comes to as far as I'm concerned, when it comes to the skill set and the IQ. So the fight, the dude early on, man, Artem was doing really good. He was the body work he was putting on Frank. I think Frank was kind of bothered by the body work. I think that was kind of affecting him a little bit. There was one body shot, man. He caught him right in the brand basket, and you could see Frank Martin didn't like it. He kind of like buckled back, and I'm like, damn, But this guy that he's fighting, Artem, nobody expected him to do what he did, But his pedigree, he's a very good boxer. He showed that last night, and Frank needed to see this early on in his career. Wherever his career is, you want to call it early on in his career, however you want to say it, he needed to see this kind of style so he can get used to it. If you have to run into somebody that fights like this guy again, right? He got a knockdown in the 12th. You can call that a knockdown because he took the knee, which was a veteran move because he stopped himself from getting battered by Frank Martin. So can't really get mad at it. He took the knee, got right back up, and then kept fighting. And then it was a lot of back and forth in this fight. So they had him up on the cards, this guy, Artem. And Derrick James was telling him, he was telling Frank Martin, listen, man, we ain't up, bro. You got to do something. Frank came back out in like the 10th round and started trying to turn it up. He tried to turn it up on him. And he was getting to the dude. He started busting up the dude's eye. The dude's eye started closing up a little bit. And that started affecting him, which made him take the knee. But he's still a good fighter, man. 53% KO ratio. Pretty, not the best power, but he's fast, very tricky. These are the kind of fighters that develop boxers that are pressure fighters, man. They need these kind of fighters, man. So this is a bit of experience for Frank Martin. He needed that, which is, a lot of people look at it like Frank was trash in the fight. I look at it like Frank took something from it and learned from it. That's how I look at it, you know. But he still ain't ready for these other dudes. He's not. I would like to see him fight him. When I say not ready, skill wise, he's not ready. That doesn't mean I don't want to see them fight. I love to see them fight. They all pros, but he's not beating them dudes. He's definitely not beating Tank. He's not beating Shakur. He's not beating Devin. And he's not beating Keyshawn Davis. Now, like I said, if Kid Austin moved up, I could see Frank Martin beating him. But these other elite guys, nah. Good fight nonetheless. Frank Martin showed true grit, got the win. What's next for Frank Martin? I don't know. They probably gonna give him another. Probably gonna step it up on him a notch, and give him somebody that's a little bit more seasoned or stepped up a notch from this Artem dude. I don't know who it is for him right now at 135. Rolly's gone. Tank is open right now, but Tank claims that they're looking toward Devin Haney or Shakur Stevenson. I say whoever Tank ends up fighting, if Tank fights Devin, then Shakur should go for Frank Martin. That'd be a good fight to see. And then y'all see Shakur Stevenson pick him apart. But still want to see it. But anyway, let me know what y'all thought about this fight between Frank Martin. Was he exposed? Like a lot of people already saying, I don't agree with that. But let me know how you feel about that fight, man. This is Rebel Life Boxing. Catch y'all later, and I'm out.